and welcome back to Am I Going to Die? We are finally here. We are live from our studio. That was like birthing a child. But here today I brought in sparkles because, hey, who doesn't think sparkles make everything better? Sparkles and sprinkles always make everything better. So today we're celebrating the first live show from our studio. I don't know many healthcare companies that have their own studio and the capabilities of going live, but that's what we've dedicated to you as our viewers, to give you the best healthcare information and added value to enhance your lives. And you know me, Melissa Moritz, the lay person of the group that gets to dispel, actually ask the questions and the myths. And then we have the expert today joining us is Dr. Sheila Pack, the Mary Poppins of audiology. She is our director of audiology. She is just a phenomenal resource to all of us, and we're so happy to have you today.
Thank you.
Live first studio. I know it's killing Dr. Gallups that he couldn't be here live, but
Wow.
We're going to make it up to you guys. Talking about, am I going to die? Q-tips. Okay, so we've got this sort of, the first thing we discuss are the Q-tips or cotton swabs.
Okay, well, from my research, the Q-tip is actually more common here in the United States. It's kind of just the brand, and in other countries and all around the world, they're more likely to be referred to as cotton swabs. So,
And you have props today.
I
That's
did.
why the Mary Poppins reference.
Yes, I brought my bag of props, and
Wow.
yes,
I am scared. When she walked in with this, and we're talking Q-tips, I'm not sure where we're going here, but you should all know this is called a Phillips head screwdriver. It was something I had to learn.
Ah, yes, it
There you
is.
go.
So, yes, my props today all kind of go along with our topic. You know, I've been doing this for well over 20 years, and in 20 plus years, I have seen what I like to think of as just about everything in or out of the ear, including maggots in an ear one time I had to pull out. So
Live?
I couldn't
Like
bring that
Squirmy?
live. They were in the hearing aid tube, and then they had
Ooh.
actually gone, they were in the ear, which was very infected. So, yes, so
I would say that would be infected.
it was, yes. So, anyway, I kind of pulled together an assortment of items that I have seen people literally either destroy their ear canal with, or I've had to
Wow.
pull out of their ear canal.
Wow. So let's start with our first myth. Should earwax be removed?
Earwax technically serves a purpose. It protects our ear, and it serves as a protection barrier. It lubricates the ear canal. There's a reason for it. So basically, no, we don't want to remove it. Earwax, the way our body is designed, our ear acts kind of like a little conveyor belt. And earwax is in the ear canal, and as we move our jaw to talk or eat, you see how the jaw moves and the ear, or
Yeah.
the ear moves and then the jaw.
Some people can wiggle their ears.
Yes, yes. So what it does is throughout the day, the wax is in here, and it just kind of works out like on a little belt. And most of the time, it will come out in the shower, or people will find it laying on their pillow. I've even seen it drop off on people's shoulders before. But technically, the only time we really need to remove wax is some people produce too much earwax. And in those cases, we schedule them around every 3 to 6 months to come in just for professional ear cleaning.
Is it a genetic thing that they're more prone to wax, or a way your body's built?
Their glands, their
thing?
system, yes. You know, it's. I don't see it run in families or anything, but just some people tend to, especially, you know, people have humidity levels in their ear canal as well. And so that can affect the wax in the ear canal. Some people have very, very dry ears. Actually, you'll see people with very, very dry ears use Q-tips or cotton swabs more than people with wax sometimes.
I think I have the dry ear thing.
With the itchy.
Yes.
Yes.
With the itchy. That's me, because I can't relate to the earwax falling out of me thing, but I can relate to the itchy.
Yes.
Okay.
And with the itchy, people always say, oh, but it feels so good to just put something in my ear and I'm going to scratch. And they want to know why. Well, the reason is we have actually the skin in the ear canal is some of the thinnest in our body. And it is also the ear canal. We have 4 cranial nerves that innervate in the ear canal. And so it makes it a very sensitive area. And it feels good to just kind of massage it with whatever, whether it's a screwdriver or a pencil or whatever. But that's why you'll see people wanting to do that.
Wow. So that brings us to this myth of people suffer self-inflicted ear injuries.
Yes, they do. And I have seen a lot of that. People like you who say you want to scratch it all the time, your Q-tips are actually very abrasive.
Yes.
If you feel
I
a
brought
Q-tip,
mine today.
Well, if you open it, it's very tightly bound.
Love
and
it.
They can be very abrasive. And so what I tend to do is if I'm cleaning, don't do this at home professional, but when we're working with patients and we have bleed or something, we can kind of fluff it up a little bit.
Oh my God. So when I go to hotels and I check their toiletry kits, I always check to see which kind of Q-tip they provide. If it's a hard one or those flexible ones, those drive me nuts.
Yes.
So I have my own to-go carry case for my Q-tips now, and I refill them with this.
But the flexible ones, the hard ones are the ones that can break off. The flexible ones aren't as likely to break off. But what people do is back to, the skin in the ear canal is so thin that you can easily abrade it, cut it, and then even worse so, puncture your eardrum, rupture your eardrum. So, I mean, if you think about it, this is why I brought my props right here. So you kind of put you're cleaning your ear. I don't know if you can see that, but you're cleaning your ear. And one wrong move, and boom. And your eardrum is down here, and you can rupture your eardrum, leading to a lot of pain, discomfort, possible surgery to repair it, all from a Q-tip and then some. I mean, this and a tail comb, I don't know, a lot of women are very familiar with these. This one I have seen go through an eardrum. And I have seen this
That's terrible.
not go through an eardrum, but literally cut the entire inside. They were winding it up and down their ear.
Somebody admitted to doing that?
If you had seen the ear and asked them, what is this?
That's hence the Phillips head.
The Phillips screwdriver, bobby pins.
You might have some few screws loose if you use this to remove the earwax.
I have seen
bobby pins. God, people get creative.
I've seen a ruptured eardrum with a bobby pin. Paper clips.
Guys,
famous
don't
for
do
paper
that.
clips because they think they can kind of shovel things out with a paper clip. I have seen this is a classic. I looked in this gentleman's ear one time, and the entire ear was marked with all these black markings all in it. And I said, what have you been doing? He had taken, and he does this he said it's a habit. Every day, he just scratches in his ear with his sharpened pencil.
Sharpened?
I found lead pieces in there. I mean,
was it a number 2?
I don't know.
He could have passed his standardized testing.
I know. So that was a very, as a hearing professional, we always look in the ear and we kind of expect certain things, but you never expect to see something that startling with just the...
I'm sure he didn't want to be called out on that either.
No, so if he's watching today...
You might have passed your standardized tests when.
But then I've found people who wear hearing protection. This, your hands, typically your hands are dirty, you've been at work, you're rolling these things up, you're putting them in your ear, when you do that, a lot of times they wear them until they wear them out and they start to crumble.
Wow.
And I have pulled these pieces out of people's ears before with this. What they really do the most damage with, though, is when they do this and they put it in, dirty fingernails cut the ear canal. And then, you know, you're setting yourself up for infection.
So if, a PSA here, if you're in a profession that you need to protect your hearing from, we do the custom earplugs.
Yes, we do. Custom hearing protection. We do custom sleep plugs for those of you who have noisy spouses or significant
we fix
others.
the snoring too.
We fix that, yes. And then, but we offer that.
So, I mean, save yourself long-term, you know, pain and suffering and potential bacteria infections, and go get yourself some custom earplugs.
Yes, definitely. They can be washed. So, but basically, you know, I think what I really wanted to show.
What's that?
Oh, this. Now, you can buy these at the drugstore.
Okay.
It is like a little spoon. And so.
Spoonful of sugar?
For people. And this right here is like a little kind of a boring tool, I guess. It's ridged. I don't know if you can see it, but it has ridges on it. So what you can do with this, and I, once again, use caution, but right on the edge, if you have some wax that you can, sometimes you can actually see it or feel it right here, you can use your little spoon.
Do you recommend that?
Pull it out. You know, I'm a hearing professional. I use these on my son, but I'm in there with an otoscope and I can kind of see. I tell everyone, you know, people are going to continue mutilating their ears. That's just a fact of life. But I tell people, you've got to exercise caution. You've got to be aware of what can happen to you. And if you're using something like this, because they sell them over the counter, you're going in just right in. It might be easier for you to see here, but you're going to go in right at this portion, right at the opening, and that's it. You don't want to go any further than that.
Does something like that tool prevent it from going towards that eardrum?
It is better than this because with the Q-tip, and I'll illustrate, I tried to make myself a little bit of something that mimicked wax. So if you've got wax in the opening of the ear canal like that, and you use this, you can kind of pull it out, scoop it out a little bit easier. But if you use this, most of the time, people just start really jamming into that ear and, oh, it feels good, I'm cleaning it. And then what they do is you end up with your wax up against your eardrum. You've impacted the cerumen, now requiring professional removal, and you've also probably given yourself a temporary hearing loss. So you really don't, you know, people get a little wax when they go like this and they think, oh, all right, my ears, I'm clean. But what they don't realize is they've actually pushed most of it down closer to the eardrum. So
cotton swabs or Q-tips, whatever you want to call them, they can impact your hearing.
Yes, they can. If you rupture the eardrum, for one thing, yes, definitely that will impact your hearing. And if you have a wax impaction. In the clinic, we see people, I mean, daily coming in and they feel like, yeah, all of a sudden I woke up with a hearing loss. Or the number one thing we hear is, and with summer coming up, is they say, I just got back from the beach or the pool and I can't hear. Something happened. I have an infection. Most of the time they had wax and it shifted with the water and all of a sudden they can't hear. So
what should they do in those cases?
If they can't hear just like that, well, call your ear, nose, and throat physician. Call the ENT Institute because we see it every day. We know how to handle it.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. So I brought in the Q-tips, but you brought in something else.
I did. I brought in, they're called baby Q-tips, and so basically,
I have never seen these.
They look like little barbells, or
oh my God, an Elf on the Shelf idea.
Yes, it is Elf. So these, if you look at them, you can't really, if we want to use this, let me pull that wax out of
So
there.
I never got, going home with newborns, the hospital never gave me these. I didn't even know about these till today.
No, well, we have, if you
Wow.
look at this, you can't get that swab in, you can't get it in that far. So you're really limiting or reducing the damage.
So can we just reference, so you're saying these are okay for the ear. On the back of the package it says, gently clean between the toes or other areas. So,
Well, there's another use.
okay. So you've heard it here from our doctor of audiology that it is okay for you to use these on your child, but be delicate.
You really have to. One thing, right in the opening, just barely, mainly right after a bath or shower, you can just, kind of wipe it out and never, never push. But once again, with children, you have to be so careful because they move very quickly. And one wrong move, and that is where this protects you because it won't go in any further.
Wow.
So,
And on the back of my Q-tip, my handy dandy Q-tip box here, it says you can use this for first aid to apply ointments and creams, electronics to clean your keyboard, baby care, we highly recommend not, and then household use.
yes.
So if you want to clean your shower one grout line at a time, you could do that.
There you go.
So ultimately, we're here to say, can you die? Am I going to die from Q-tip usage? Or
Technically,
cotton swab usage?
Technically, no. However, if you puncture or rupture your eardrum with a Q-tip or anything, or abrade your ear canal, cut it, you can set yourself up for a nasty infection, which,
Oh, yes.
you have
That's
to
a
keep that
lovely
in mind.
infection. Well, there was a recent story about a gentleman who the cotton swab put an infection that grew into his skull. So, yes, you can die from the usage or the improper usage of safety swabs, cotton swabs, Q-tips, whatever you want to call them.
Screwdrivers.
Don't do that. Just keep this away from electrical outlets and away from your ear.
Yes.
So we hope that you've enjoyed our first inaugural launch of our studio here. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, if you have comments, if you'd like some advice as best as we can give it to you, if you have a show suggestion, if you'd like to see Dr. Pack join me again, just write us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Our viewership is growing, so we know we're on to something. Thank you for being here today, and watch what you put in your ears, please.